You're watching VinylicPumaGaming. So the most common weapons you're going to see in Skyrim are swords and greatswords. However, a lot of people tend to overlook both war axes and battle axes. In general, axes tend to have higher damage than swords do, however they have slightly lower attack speed as well. Axes also have two unique perks. Instead of affecting the frequency of critical hits, axes will apply bleed damage to enemy targets. For one-handed war axes, you should be benefiting from the hack and slash perk, and for two-handed battle axes, you should be benefiting from the limb splitter perk. Now in this video, I will be combining both war axes and battle axes into the same list. This is because there simply aren't enough of either weapon type to justify their own lists. There are only 2 unique war axes and about 3 or 4 unique battle axes, so most of the weapons you're going to be seeing here have to be crafted. Even still, I'll recommend whether I prefer the battle axe or war axe for the specific crafted weapon type. But without further ado, these are 9 of some of the best war axes and battle axes in Skyrim Remastered. Number 9, the HOARFROST. Alright, before anyone gets mad, I originally wasn't going to include this weapon because there is some ambiguity as to whether the game really classifies this as a war axe or not. So what I will say is that if you intend on having a pickaxe at all, the HOARFROST is essentially the game's best pickaxe. You can mine pretty much everything in Skyrim, and you can mine the deposits of STALHRIM that appear in the Dragonbone DLC as well. Plus, if you did intend on using this as a weapon, this will be a better choice than either the standard pickaxe or even the ancient Nordic pickaxe that it's based on. The HOARFROST has an enchantment that deals frost damage and can also cause enemies to freeze for a short period of time. Now, is the HOARFROST going to be a weapon you base a build around? Probably not, but if you do get caught in a pinch, I'd rather have this than a regular pickaxe. You can get the HOARFROST from Raylis Sedaris. You can either pickpocket him, kill him, or make him a follower and just take it from his inventory. Number 8, the Steel Battleaxe of Fiery Souls. Ultimately, the Steel Battleaxe of Fiery Souls is not one of the most powerful battle axes in Skyrim. In terms of base damage, 18 is pretty low for a battle axe, especially when you consider the best battle axes in Skyrim are dealing about 24 or more base damage. Even still, I think you should take the time to acquire this early on in your playthrough, and even later on in your playthrough, as this battle axe has a unique and learnable enchantment called Fiery Soul Trap. What this enchantment does is cast Soul Trap on an enemy while also dealing fire damage to that enemy. It's also cool that the Fiery Soul Trap enchantment will consume less enchantment charges than your standard Soul Trap enchantment. Unfortunately, you can't raise the amount of fire damage dealt while enchanting your own weapons. Even still, less charges consumed is nice, and you can combine this with the fire damage enchantments for additional fire damage. Otherwise, this is a pretty straightforward steel battle axe. For this reason, it might be better if you get this particular weapon early on if you intend to use it for combat. The Steel Battleaxe of Fiery Souls can be acquired in Ironbind Barrow behind the throne where you fight Warlord Gathric. Number 7, the Drainblood Battleaxe. So along with the Drainspell Bow and Drainheart Sword, the Drainblood Battleaxe can be obtained during the Staff of Magnus quest at Labyrinthian. Of the 3 spectral weapons, I would say the Drainblood Axe has the most useful enchantment, which is Absorb Health. What's also really nice about this weapon is that the enchantment doesn't consume any charges. The Drainblood Battleaxe is also the lightest battleaxe in Skyrim at just 5 encumbrance. This is phenomenal considering an Iron Battleaxe provides 20 encumbrance and has only 16 base damage. So what you're getting here is a nice enchantment, the same damage as an Elven Battleaxe at almost 1/5 the weight of an Elven Battleaxe. Now, unfortunately, the Drainblood Axe can't be upgraded at a grindstone. However, if you ask me, the Infinite Absorb Health enchantment makes this definitely worth it. Plus, if you're in a pinch and you want to learn the Absorb Health enchantment, you could always disenchant your Drainblood Battleaxe. Again, if you want one of these, you can get one in Labyrinthian, and it is the best of the 3 spectral weapons. Number 6, the DAWNGUARD Rune Axe. The The Dawnguard Rune Axe is one of 2 unique war axes available to the player in Skyrim, and it initially required the Dawnguard DLC. If you have Skyrim Special Edition or Remastered, you aren't going to have to worry about that. When compared to the other war axes that appear on this list in terms of stats, the Dawnguard Rune Axe is actually a little bit weaker. However, it makes up with that a little bit with its unique enchantment. According to the Elder Scrolls Wiki, the Dawnguard Rune Axe's enchantment deals 10 plus N sun damage to the undead. N would equal the number of undead killed since the last sunrise. Now, it could just be me and the mods I'm using in this particular video, but when I used the Dawnguard Rune Axe, it actually showed 0 sun damage at first, and then as I killed undead enemies, it slowly increased with each enemy killed. Ultimately, I think you're going to need to kill at least 100 undead enemies in order to achieve the maximum amount of sun damage. I'd recommend using this weapon in Nordic caves where you will find lots of Draugr enemies or skeletons or whatever else. Otherwise, the Dawnguard Rune Axe benefits from the steel smithing perk, thus you can achieve double improvement. This might make it ideal for lower level characters if you're having a hard time killing some undead. If you want it, you will need to complete the Dawnguard side quest called Lost Relic. Number 5, the Nord Hero War Axe and Battle Axe. So Nord Hero weapons are crafted weapons. However, you will need to beat the Companions questline in order to craft them. And if you intend on making a Nord Hero War Axe, you will need an Ancient Nord War Axe. If you intend on making the Nord Hero Battle Axe, you will need the Ancient Nord Battle Axe. It should also be mentioned that you can only make these weapons at the Skyforge in Whiterun as well. While the requirements to initially craft these weapons are relatively high, you'll find that it's certainly worth the effort. The Nord Hero War Axe has the same base damage as the Elven War Axe, Nordic War Axe, and Skyforge Steel War Axe, while weighing less than all of them. As for the Nord Hero Battle Axe, it has the same base damage as the Skyforge Steel, Elven, Honed Ancient Nord, and Nordic Battle Axes, while also weighing less than all of them. I would say if you use swords or axes, Nord Hero weapons are excellent and are the way to go for early level characters. It's annoying that you can't just make these anywhere in the game, but once you do make them, you can upgrade them anywhere. Plus, the lower weight is definitely worth it for your power attacks. Number 4, the OKIN. So OKIN is the other of the 2 unique war axes available to the player in Skyrim and is based off of the Nord Hero War Axe. As I just mentioned, Nord Hero weapons are quite good early on and are actually superior to Skyforge Steel. Just like the normal Nord Hero War Axe, you can benefit from the Steel Smithing perk, which allows for double improvement. As for OKIN's enchantment, it's pretty straightforward as it's simply a frost damage enchantment and it will affect the health and stamina of your enemies. You're ultimately going to find that you can get a better enchantment if you were to find a random Nord Hero War Axe and enchant it yourself. But early on in the game, the ability to have a decent enchantment for combat is pretty good. If you would like to get your hands on OKIN, you will need to go to Volunruud and defeat Kevinal the Tongue. For higher level characters, you may just want to obtain a Nord Hero War Axe and enchant it yourself with whatever enchantment you want. Number 3, DAEDRIC. Now, I originally hesitated to include this on the list, because what I would say is that if you're looking for a good war axe, you really don't want a DAEDRIC war axe. While the damage it deals is decent and it's quite valuable in Skyrim's game world, the problem is the DAEDRIC war axe's encumbrance is just too high. Cue memes. Plus, both the Ebony and STALHRIM war axes deal the same base damage and way less. If you're looking for a great battle axe, however, the DAEDRIC battle axe will be your second best bet in terms of base damage, exceeding both the Ebony and STALHRIM battle axes. Really, the only problems I foresee you having with the DAEDRIC battle axe are its relatively high upgrade costs. You'll need the DAEDRIC smithing perk, and you will need ebony ingots, which are quite expensive. While you can mine ebony ore at Gloombound Mine at the Orc Stronghold near Windhelm, it's still a fairly expensive resource. That said, if you plan on enchanting your battle axe, or if you just want one of the best battle axes in Skyrim, the DAEDRIC battle axe is going to be a really good choice. Number 2, Dragonbone. Now, there shouldn't be too much of a surprise with this choice. Dragonbone got added with Skyrim's Dawnguard add-on, and while these weapons are typically quite heavy, they also provide the best base damage of all of the weapons in the game. It's fair to say that you won't get any weapons with higher base damage than both the Dragonbone War Axe as well as the Dragonbone Battleaxe. The problem with these weapons, especially in the case of the Dragonbone War Axe, is their weight. While the Battleaxe is one of the heavier battle axes in Skyrim, the Dragonbone War Axe's weight is ridiculous. While you get to deal 16 base damage, the axe itself provides 21 encumbrance. That's almost as much weight as the entire Battleaxe itself at 30 encumbrance. I would say if you plan on using Dragonbone, you are much better off with the two-handed battleaxe as opposed to the one-handed war axe. The only other issue is obtaining a stock of Dragonbone, which I would say shouldn't be too difficult, as dragons drop plenty of it. Ultimately, if you want to use Dragonbone weapons as a one-handed war axe user, don't. That said, if you use two-handed weapons and specialize in battle axes, the Dragonbone Battleaxe is a great choice. Number 1. STALHRIM. So just like all STALHRIM weapons, both the STALHRIM War Axe as well as the STALHRIM Battleaxe allow for stronger frost damage enchantments when they are applied to STALHRIM weapons. So I would say if you plan on enchanting your weapon, both of these would be a great choice. However, while the STALHRIM Battleaxe is good, it's bested by both the DAEDRIC and Dragonbone Battleaxes in terms of base damage. The STALHRIM War Axe, on the other hand, is probably going to be your best choice for a craftable war axe in Skyrim. This is because the STALHRIM War Axe deals the same amount of damage as the DAEDRIC and Ebony War Axes and weighs less than both. And while the STALHRIM War Axe is surpassed by the Dragonbone War Axe in terms of damage, the Dragonbone Axe is extremely heavy at 21 encumbrance. For the sake of reference, the STALHRIM War Axe is just 16 encumbrance with only 1 point less base damage. The only real issue with STALHRIM is that you need the Dragonborn DLC, which if you have Skyrim Remastered, that's not going to be a problem. Ultimately, this is your best choice for a craftable war axe. Though STALHRIM is a good choice for battle axes as well. Alright guys, that's going to pretty much wrap up this particular video. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, and as always, take care, and I'll see you all next time.